Over the last 6 years, I've spent $60 million on paid ads. That comes down to $10 million a year, $833,000 per month, and $143,000 a week in ads. For 5 of those years, when it came to making world-class ads for e-commerce brands, low-ticket offers, VSLs, local services, webinars, and lead generation, you name it, I've done it. I would have to go and create a lengthy market research process. And usually that took a week to 2 weeks to go through the entire research process. It used to look a little bit like this: manually copy and paste hundreds of reviews to a spreadsheet from each platform like TikTok, Reddit, Amazon reviews, YouTube, Facebook groups. And then after getting all of those reviews, the questions, the comments, the feedback, we would have to sort them by the trigger words, the language patterns, the desires, the pain points. Then figuring out what level of market awareness these ads are, only to end up guessing what they might be, because sometimes it's left up to the human interpretation. After that, it was brief time. Writing the brief based on the patterns we pulled from the market research. We had to manually search the meta library for inspiration to know how we want the ad to look with the angles and copy, and make that connection to the visuals for the designer. And then also create the copywriting and make sure that that feedback process came back really flush and exactly how we need to be with the right level of market awareness and the right information and knowing how to speak to our customers via ads. And let's not even talk about the bottleneck of barely having any assets for us to work with. Is this something you can relate to? This was the most taxing part. It was one of those tasks you knew was so important, but dread doing for days because it takes so much mental bandwidth. It was almost as if you spent your entire week just doing this market research. The next step wasn't so hard. Just needed to plan the time and then have the designer make the creatives, and we would plan a 3 to 4 day turnaround, taking revisions into consideration. Then waiting for the data to come through, and then interpreting the data to understand how to make iterations off of it. This whole process from start to finish took so much time. So when AI started when I started using AI about 2023, I asked myself, how do I actually leverage AI to help me automate this entire process? And the real question became, what do I do about it? Because I still need to do all this work to make high quality ads that will truly handle scale. So over the past year, I've been testing while spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads per week and piecing it together. I've been testing a system that I took from the actual system that I built that helped me scale up my clients. And I started to build an AI infrastructure that allowed for me to just do a lot of this manual labor rather quickly. Sometimes the market research, when we onboard and take on a new client, it takes only 30 minutes to get everything that I needed. I'm talking about TikTok, comments, questions, and videos, the ones that are viral, getting Amazon reviews, 5-star reviews, 1-star reviews, 2-star reviews, and then analyzing that for pain points and outcomes and desires. Even going as far as connecting those reviews to the TikTok videos, to the comments and the questions of those TikTok videos to analyze the entire market awareness and the level of sophistication so that we know how to actually speak to the customer for top of funnel ads, middle funnel ads, and bottom of funnel ads. So by taking this exact same system that helped me scale my clients past 100K months, by simply creating these very specific agents that will handle these tasks for you almost entirely without your input. Okay, a little bit of input on your end. But with that said, it opened up my mind to how powerful AI is. Because this year, we've created more ads, tightened our feedback loop, found more winning messaging angles that allow us to iterate faster than we did in the last 5 years combined. We can go from onboarding one person to come and work with us to getting them brand new ads within 3 days. And those ads can definitely succeed and do quite well. And it's not because we've gotten better at ads, it's because we've gotten better at something else. We've taken all the knowledge, all the skills, all the learnings, and we have created agents and automated them and built an entire infrastructure to do the entire process that you need to do from start to finish, and an entire feedback loop that you could plug right into your business simply, that would allow for you to test more creatives, for you to test higher quality creatives, because let's also remember this. It is not just about the volume of creatives that you create, it is the quality and the content of those creatives. But if you could do both at the same time, then you're going to beat any of your competitors. You're going to be able to have higher volume, and these ads are going to be highly personalized for your audience as well. But the problem in the past with more creatives was it took a lot of energy, and it takes a lot to be creative at that level of volume. Creating 10 ads is easy. Creating 50 to 100 ads is even doable. But creating 200 ads, you start going in circles, scratching your head because you're already talked about everything. See, the thing is, it's not only you, it's also your competition. They're in the same race as you. They're trying to get more creatives. They're trying to get higher quality creatives. They're looking at the research. These are things that a lot of people do know, but a lot of people don't know how to execute properly. And the issue is that everybody's running into the same exact problem. Generalized creatives that are vague, that are generated by AI, that don't sound like your customers at all for the sake of more creatives. We solve this problem completely and absolutely by creating a hyper-specialized feedback loop that takes your entire market into consideration, that uses the exact language your customers use to create highly personalized ads that are high quality without ever sacrificing volume. And here's what we did differently to create highly personalized that are high quality without sacrificing the volume. We use the exact same language that your customers talk about on their TikTok, on their Reddit, on their Amazon reviews, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. We took all of that and we matched that language. We created an agent in part of your infrastructure that matched that language. And then we took all of the imagery and the viral videos and we broke them down. That makes it highly relevant to that exact same market that you want to speak to. And we built it step by step, the same way as if you had a brand new creative strategist in your team that have helped scale businesses up to 7 to 8 figures a year. Then we got it so that we was able to write scripts in less than an hour using the trends from TikTok, from the customer reviews, and from the market awareness levels. And we tested spending it over $800,000 a month on ads testing. Now, we don't spend our time researching monthly. We don't spend our time trying to figure out what to iterate on next. And we don't spend our time in the dark anymore guessing about what might work. Instead, we have our internal infrastructure that is a custom build for each client that we work with. And if you don't believe me, here are some of the results. And they're incredible. They're some of the best results that we've gotten because we built out this system. Now, this isn't like what everybody else is doing, because what most people are doing is they're focused on just one part of the creative creation cycle. We're focused on the entire process, from the market research to the copy, to the creation of the images, to the video scripts, to the data that comes in from Meta, Google Analytics, and it's an iterative process telling us what to do next and then pointing to the market research. We aren't creating more AI slop. We are creating highly personalized ads that is highly relevant to your market and your customers. And that will help you find more winning ads more consistently and save you 20 to 30 hours per week, and maybe even 100 hours per month. And it will allow for you to finally be able to get the feedback that you need to make the ads that are relevant for your customers, that are highly personalized, but also to keep up with their competition to be able to get the volume of ads that you need. And that's exactly why we were able to scale these companies. Now, I know what you're expecting. You're expecting us to sell you a system, an ebook, a course, a coaching program. And truly, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And the reason I can't is because it's not something you can implement, because it's a very complex system. But we do have something better for you. We can duplicate our entire Conversion OS system infrastructure into your business, where one person can implement with just a few steps. Not only will you get the entire infrastructure, but you and your team gets full access to every new update we do. Think CRO, copywriting, meta updates, inside, project management, and so much more. Here's the reason why we're doing this. It's because after spending so much time building this system, spending millions of dollars on ads, we know what it looks like to build winning ads. We know what quality looks like, we know what AI slop looks like, and we know how to create ads at scale. And I realize that the name of the game is no longer teaching Facebook ads about implementing infrastructures into your business. Because we both know the more that you move, the more money that you make. So let's talk about it. If you want to implement this system that is backed by over $60 million worth of ad spend, that does the market research, the brief writing, that makes the creatives, and understand the data that lets you know what to do next before it's too late or already fatiguing, then here's what we can do for you. Because we're not taking any more private clients, we're doing something else. We are installing this infrastructure right for you, for your business, for you to execute, for you to start right away. So instead of you paying us $20,000 for you to run ads with the system, you pay much less. Where we come into your company and we set up everything for your business, where we set up the infrastructure for you, set up all the connections and platform integrations. We train it on our strategy, 6 years worth of learning of what works. Lastly, we train it on your branding. Then we make sure all error handling is set up and then connect it correctly to your Facebook account and pull out the data to give you daily and weekly reports so you can iterate, even connecting your GA4 to paint a full picture. When the system is installed, all you need is one person on your team to give us a few access tokens, your branding guidelines, and connect your Meta account. And you'll have a system that pumps out high quality creatives every time you run the workflow at the volume your account needs. So month after month, week after week, day after day, you can see your account perform and scale. And on top of that, we'll train the person to get the most out of the workflow. So if you're throwing shit against the wall, hoping something sticks, trying to make your ads work, well, we already did that, so you don't have to anymore. So my suggestion to you is let's talk and change that for you. At the bottom, there's a book a call link, book call with us. See how we can implement this exact same Conversion OS infrastructure for your business today.